Hey everybody, this is Javi, and you are watching the Bowtie Psychic here on YouTube. So I'm actually doing a video for Sagittarians, and before we get started, I hope that everyone is doing okay. I hope everyone is doing all right. I know the weekend is coming up this Thursday, so depending on the situation, a lot of y'all have turned up already. However, there's a lot of us that are still at work and doing work before the weekend starts. So I hope that you are prepared for the weekend. Um, and also, I am using a different set. Spirit told me to use a different set of cards. And so instead of like the normal deck that I use or the regular deck that I use, the Dreams of Gaia deck, we're going to be using the Messengers of the Oracle deck. And so this has been a long time. It's been a long time since I've done Oracle readings. So the Spirit is really let me know how to do this. So, and I have a card already pulled out um, for Sagittarians, and I'm already tapped into that energy. And what I'm getting from the energy so far is that a lot of Sagittarians are they're very multi talented. They use a lot of that energy, to not only um, use those to basically further those talents or use those talents, to be creative, but also um, to basically, y'all love teaching people. Y'all, a lot of Sagittarians are teachers. A lot of y'all are, always having this information because in addition to being multi-talented, you're also extremely intelligent. And so a lot of y'all have a hard time, with that intelligence and what to do with it because you know how to do so many things. And so that's a lot of the fire comes from you like having the energy to put that information out there, but you also feel that people either don't understand you or don't know how to perceive the information that you receive. So you get easily frustrated, and as a result of that, people cannot take a lot of that, and tend to like back away from a lot of people who are under the Sagittarius sign. So yeah, so a lot of y'all are very highly intelligent. In fact, you're basically a Gemini, only much more with a lot more fire. Um, y'all know how to take that energy and use it to your advantage. But when it comes to your emotions, however, that's a whole different story. Um, where like Gemini's use their communication skills to actually tell people their emotions in so many ways. It seems like Sagittarians, um, they don't know how to process the information as far as their emotions. So it just comes out in so many ways that may make people uncomfortable. It is not your fault entirely. It's just that's something that is, you know, that is very natural for a lot of y'all, especially if that's your sun sign. Um, those traits, those traits, are going to be more apparent than not. So let's get started as far as the entire reading. Um, I am being told to tap in the spirit one more time, not to ask about the Sagittarius, but to basically show you my process once again as far as that. So, dear higher spirit, I pray that you use me as a vessel. Whatever comes through is from you, the highest and the best of my guardians, ancestors, wise ones, guardian angels, archangels, ascended masters. Whatever comes through, may it come from a place of light, love, and is rooted in truth. And put the white light of protection around those who, myself, and those who are watching this video. All right. I'm just getting that this video and this message is for the collective. As far as those born under the Sagittarius sign, and also if it resonates with you, whether this is your sun sign, rising sign, or moon sign, by all means, let me know in the comments, and be sure to subscribe to the channel, and like the channel, like this video, and share it with your people on social media. So, higher spirit, what words of wisdom do you have for Sagittarians, those born under the sign of Sagittarius, in regards to self-care during the Aries season? Yeah, like what I'm getting already is that a lot of y'all are going to be, because there's so much fire energy going on right now, but in regards to Aries, you have the Aries, this Aries season, so you are dealing with like a lot of Aries energy, extroverted energy, action oriented energy, but at the same time you're dealing with Sagittarius energy as well, and you're already, when it comes to emotions, it's like, is it when it becomes emotions and getting people to understand where you're coming from. That's where a lot of your fire comes from. A lot of your fire comes from teaching and relaying information. You not only just relaying information, but making sure that people understand what you're saying. And when people are understanding what you're saying, it's like you just become very frustrated and discouraged because of it. Um, and sometimes that comes out sideways, because, like I said before, when it comes to your emotional state, it's as if there's a part of you that doesn't know how to process your emotions, because a lot of you are very intellectual as well, very intellectual, very multi-talented. You have many ways of honing in that talent, but when it comes to um, being vulnerable and responsible, when it comes to other people's, when it comes to your emotions, um, you just have the, like, there's a part of you that just has a tendency to just to go off, and so during this time, um, during the Aries season is definitely you are to watch your emotions and how you relay those emotions or communicate those emotions. And on top of that, y'all get easily frustrated, because y'all have you have interest in everything and cannot pinpoint those down. So, there you go. Right. So what I got from here, and this is from the Instagram video as well. What you got upside down is the Seek Your Destiny card. And what I got for that one, right off the bat, is that a lot of you are afraid for your future. A lot of you um, are basically trying to pinpoint where your talents lie and where they are best suited. And as a result of that, there's like, I don't know what to do with myself. There's a huge frustration with, I don't know what to do with myself, because I feel like a lot of you use both parts of your brain. There, okay. So here's a lesson about the brain. The left brain, the left side and the right side. Left side of your brain is the more logical, mathematical, analytical side of the self. Okay, that's where a lot of your logic comes from, um, as far as like analytical, and a lot of um, and a lot of where your data is, and where a lot of the scientific stuff comes from. That's where you get that energy. That's where a lot of that information stays. But with the right side of your brain is your more creative side. That's where you learn how to. That's where your more colorful side is. Where your imagination is, where your love for art is, where your love for the art of video games and anime and things of that nature. And I'm actually I'm getting a lot of nerd energy here. You know what I mean? A lot of nerd energy from Sagittarius, because a lot of y'all are very like, and don't get me wrong, I'm also a very much a nerd, um, but it's like that's a lot. You have like the both sides of your brain working, and because you have both sides of your brain working, um, you're always trying to figure out where the puzzle pieces go. And as a result of you trying to figure out where the puzzle pieces go, um, it's as if like both parts of yourself are in constant battle. There's a constant battle between the left part of yourself and the right part of yourself, the logical part of yourself, and the more artistic part of yourself. And so, as a result of that, a lot of you have a hard time finding a career, finding like an interest that infuses both, so it can quiet um, that energy, that conflicting energy that's within you. And so, what this card is saying is that there's a lot of you who are worried about where, like, what type of person, what type of project you're going to be hired for, and so this is the time to basically settle down and not worry about that. And what Spirit is basically saying is that your destiny will come. Um, a lot of you are seeking your destiny, will find it, but you are to calm down, and basically not fight so don't fight yourself any longer, because when you are having that internal battle, you know, between your logical side and your artistic side or your more imaginative side, um, it creates a lot of discord within the self. And as a result, you're frustrated with your life and you're frustrated with who you are as a person. And there is just no need for that. And so that's what that card is saying. Don't beat yourself up if you have not found the dream job, or the dream situation yet, where you are just basically you're settled within yourself. And to be honest with you, like, what you are looking for yourself will come when you like do the work necessary, the spiritual work necessary, to not only become at peace with both parts of you, but to not but to settle down energetically, so um, both of those parts could give get the opportunity to be at peace, you know, with each other, so you can be at peace with yourself, if that makes sense. Okay, and also I got nourish your soul. Basically, that's what that is. It's self-explanatory. You do not have to pick and choose parts of yourself. That's what it's saying. Nourish your soul. Um, Continue to do the things that you love to do. It's not, and to be honest with you, like, I can see like the fire, you know, the fire energy coming from this looks like a panther. So basically, like, what this card is saying is that feed your spirit, because it's drinking the water, and water actually is very calming. And so is the color black. It's very calming, the both of them. And so what this card is saying is that um, this is pretty much the time to just enjoy the process, and do things that you love to do without worrying about monetary success. Because once you start worrying about, you know, where the money's going to come from, when am I going to get my check, when is my destiny going to show itself, you begin to worry, and then things are not enjoyable. You know, if you love to read, do it for the sake of doing it. If you love video games, go ahead and do that. If you love graphic novels, go ahead and do that. If you love going outside and being around nature, go ahead and do that too. But please do what you normally do, without this expectation that in order for you to be someone, you are to succeed. Because what's happening is that you're worried about monetary success so much, that, or success in general. You worry about your future and monetary success so much, that it is causing you a lot of depression, anxiety. You're because you are being placed. You're placing yourself in a position to be someone to someone, um, and you're not being yourself and enjoying yourself as a result. It's not about work all the time. It's not about being successful all the time. Sometimes it's just sometimes it's just a good thing to just um, do what you enjoy doing, and doing it for yourself and doing it for the nourishment of your spirit. Okay, if and also this is a time to examine your likes and dislikes as well. This is a time to wonder, like, whether or not your activities or what you do is that for you or is that for someone else. Is that something you enjoy doing, or are you doing it because someone has pushed that on you in some way, shape, or form? So this is the time to do the work necessary, to determine whether or not your likes and dislikes are yours. Okay, but do it, because it's right for you, um, and it's going to basically build your spirit up in some way, shape, or form. This is also That's where this card is coming from. It's time to reflect. It's time to reflect, um, what it is that drives you. What it is that drives you to do what you're doing. What is driving you to find success? What is driving you to basically engage in the opportunities and the activities that you're doing? I'm getting that a lot of what you do is often for someone else. That other people think that the things that you enjoy doing are frivolous, and a waste of time. And Spirit is basically telling you to challenge that, and to not care so much about what people on the outside think about what you love to do. Because during this season, in fact, and I want to say this again, in 2000, this is 2019. This is the time to let go of things that no longer serve you. If this means letting go of a lot of, or something, like most of the time, that means letting go of old tapes, old messages that tell you that what you enjoy and what brings you joy, um, is something that is not to be explored or to be continued, because it's not somehow bringing in money, or it's not um, doing something, or that is either bringing you money or basically something that is considered weird. A lot of us stop doing what we get these messages, and we stop doing what we want to do, or something that brings us joy, because someone else doesn't like it, or someone else feels that it is not suitable, or it's a lot of people for religious reasons stop doing things um, because it's not quote unquote of God or whatnot. But what that particular card is saying is that, look, it's time to back up and actually reflect on what's driving us and what keeps us from doing what we enjoy doing. Um, and this is for Sagittarius. And that, but this can go for anybody, because a lot of us, we're given the message that we're not okay, let alone things that we like doing. I'm getting it. It's time to be joyous and free, Sagittarius. It's time to be joyous and free. Um, and there is actually one person in particular. Um, I haven't seen them in years though, but she is actually coming through. Um, it's like there's a part of me that's like, if I'm gonna try to find her and give her this message, but basically, I'm seeing the Renaissance Festival. If you like it, I guess that comes up and that comes through because that's something she enjoys doing, and so I'm getting that continue to do that instead of thinking that people are going to see you or deem you as weird, because this is not the time to um, and to be honest with you, like if and I should have said this. Sometimes the message may not resonate with you, but if it does, by all means, let me know. Spirit. Let's see. Okay, we got two more cards here. So I got um, embrace spirit. Oops, embrace spirit. Embrace spirit. What I'm getting for you, Sagittarius, is to believe in what through this card is to believe in your inner self, to connect with your inner self, um, connect with both your light and your dark, as this ego has done. Because what ends up happening is that when you embrace yourself, um, what other people say about you is no longer a concern. What people think about you and Sagittarius and what you like to do, and I think that's what that Seek Your Destiny card came through. Why that card came through, because a lot of you are doing what you're doing what people had said you were supposed to be doing, and I'm also getting that a lot of y'all were a lot of you were bullied, and a lot of you were pretty much told um, that in order for you to fit in somewhere, you are to basically become part of the status quo. And so a lot of you shut down because of it, knowing full well that that's not who you are, for one. And secondly, are a lot more enlightened and a lot more um, elevated. You're a lot more elevated. Okay, you're using two like of both parts of your brain for a reason. You're using like both of those both part of your brain for a reason. The reason being is that you are an elevated being for one, and secondly, you're highly intelligent because you're supposed to be teachers. You're supposed to be teachers. You're supposed to be um, teaching folks how to use all of your brain. Use all of your brain to elevate the mind, the body, and the spirit. You are to be teaching people these things so they can be better human beings. And this is also the time to embrace who you are as a person and to not anyone take that away from you. That's why it says embrace spirit. Not only are you to embrace your spirit team, which is your ancestors, wise ones, guardian angels, archangels, ascended masters. For some people, those are elementals as well, fairies and things of that nature. But I'm also getting to embrace your inner divinity. Embrace your inner divinity, because if you're able to embrace your inner divinity, you're going to be um, able to embrace yourself, and you will be able to teach people to do the same. But you are to embrace yourself first. Okay. Um, Yeah, your gut instinct. You have a gut, like a strong gut instinct when you're able to tap in, and you're already getting this message, like believe in yourself and believe in your capabilities. That spirit and your spirit team connecting with you. That's your inner divinity connecting with you and telling you to reject the messages of the outside world, because the outside world does not understand you. They don't understand how your brain works. They don't understand how your mind works. They don't understand that you just process things differently. They don't understand that you are not of this world anyway. There's a lot of, believe it or not, there's a lot of extraterrestrials in human form walking around. And I know that a lot of folks may think that that's like absolutely insane um, and untrustworthy as far as the information, but there are a lot of people who are walking around and feeling as if they are not a part of this earth, and more likely it's because they're not. There's a lot of star beings walking around, a lot of extraterrestrial beings walking around. There's a lot of angels, messenger angels, archangels in human form walking around. Um, and there's a lot of people who, you know, have a lot of former lives, and those former lives, and some of those former lives are not even human. So there's a lot of Sagittarians walking around that are very, very much extraterrestrial, and they are not able to, and that's one of the reasons why they're able to use the both sides of their brain, because that's how they were able to. That's basically um, their their former self, you know, in a human body, trying to navigate this world and not understanding why they are unable to do so. So that's what spirit is telling me, and that's just how it is. I feel like there's a lot of folks um, that were elementals at one point, or uh, yeah, that, like I'm getting from spirit that there are a lot of y'all Sagittarians that are walking around. Y'all are extraterrestrials and elementals in human form, and you don't quite understand why you are not fitting into this world. That's why. And that's why one of the reasons why you're so frustrated is because um, here you are, a lot of you are elevated, and you are attempting to connect to the world through your intellect and through your messages. Um, and unfortunately, a lot of people um, don't get you, aren't paying attention to you, or disregard or dismiss all that you're saying. So that's where a lot of the frustrations come from. Um, a lot of you think the world is filled with for lack of better terms, idiots. A lot of y'all really do think that, and as a result, you really do. You're like, I can't take this world, and so it comes out in different ways as far as your frustration. Um, that's why you got this card, need and necessity. Need and necessity. You are looking. A lot of you don't know your tribe. You're looking. A lot of you are looking for your tribe. Sagittarians are looking. You're looking for people who understand you. You're looking for people who understand you on a spiritual level, intellectual level, on an emotional level. You're constantly looking for that, and as a result of constantly looking, sometimes you get those friendships, but sometimes those friendships don't last for very long. Um, and the folks that leave is because they're not supposed to be a part of your tribe, at least not for very long. They're supposed to be a lesson in humanity, and then they move on, to the next lesson or to the next phase of their life. Sometimes you walk away from those experiences because those people no longer resonate with you. And so, what that card is saying is that there's a part of you still that you need that, um, for lack of better terms, you need that tribe. You are craving for someone to understand you. You're craving for that. And so, this Aries season, as far as self care, is to basically like meditate and start to manifest the type of friends that you are wanting to. Like, this is the time to call upon your spirit people and to manifest your tribe, manifest, like the type of people who you feel are going to understand you, because interdependence for you is extremely important. Having friends that you can talk to on a regular basis is very important, and it keeps you like it definitely keeps you from feeling as if you are out of order, or you are out of touch with the world, because there are people who are like you. It's just that this is a time for you to manifest and use all the capacities of your brain, like on an analytical fashion. What can you do to manifest other people, like on an analytical fashion? What can you do to um, what can you do on a strategic level? To find those people. At the same time, your imagination, usually your imagination, what type of friends are you looking for? What type of friends are you looking for? So basically, for the left part of your brain, as far as manifestation, um, what tools could you use to, or what methods you can use to manifest those people? And for the right side of your brain, what do those people look like? And what are you expecting from those people? In regards to friendships, this is the time for you to use both parts of yourself to figure out what type of tribe you are looking for, because it will curtail on the loneliness you feel, and also as far as the frustration, because you will have someone to talk to and you will have someone to connect with. Um, you are no longer feeling as if you're talking to brick walls, because that's basically the majority of the human race. And let's put one more card here. That's my phone, so basically that's Wordsworth giving me a new word. All right, so I have two more cards here. So basically, what you got is be vigilant. Basically, don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up on anything. There are many times when you want to give up, where that's one of the reasons why you suffered from a lot of depression and anxiety, because it comes from a place of discouragement, Sagittarius. And so, what that card is basically saying is, do not give up on yourself. Don't get frustrated with yourself, um, because that's also the part of the self care process. Because you have double fire at this point. If that was or you, if, yeah, like in some part of, whether it be a sun sign, rising sign, or a moon sign, you're still dealing with a double fire. And so, what this card is saying is that, please do not give up on yourself. Don't get so frustrated with yourself to the point of being discouraged. You are going to find your tribe. You are going to find the people that you're looking for. You're going to find those folks. You are going to find the future that you are looking for. I'm also getting, a lot of you are going to be the spiritual people. You're going to be the spiritual advisors, spiritual teachers, as I said before. And so this is a time for you to that's one of the reasons why you're being told to find your tribe. So this is the time to study as well. This is the time to study, and this is also the time to manifest your tribe. So you're able to use these individuals um, to uh, to not only teach, but to like bounce your ideas off of. And also, what I'm getting is that you'll be brainstorming a lot with these folks. And so when you do this brainstorming process, that's when you start to um, you'll start to manifest a lot of those folks that you are meant to be teaching, um, whatever lessons you are supposed to be teaching them. And so, what I'm getting from this card, the be vigilant card, is do not give up on the process. Don't give up on yourself. And this is a time to like channel all that frustration and turn it into something, um, much more beautiful for yourself. And so, respect your boundaries. That's what I'm getting from this card, is respect your boundaries. And so this is a time to learn how to, thank you, release the boundaries that you placed on yourself. Release the boundaries that you placed on yourself. What does that mean, Spirit? Okay. And like let go of the limits and the limitations you put on yourself when it comes to you, the way you learn, the way you process information, the way you when it comes to other people. You are to be patient with other people. You are to be patient with yourself. I'm also getting like the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit. The one of the limits that you're placing on yourself is feeling that you have to put yourself in a box as far as your likes and dislikes, your interests, and how to promote those interests for monetary gain. What Spirit is basically saying is that you can, like, you have the power because you are a manifester. Where we all have the power to manifest, um, but for you at this time it's tenfold of because for one, you're using both part of your brain, and secondly, um, you're elevated. You're extremely elevated, and you're a lot of more. You're very intelligent, and because of that, take off those limits and like basically study other ways um, to basically live life. Okay, but let go of the limitations of you can't do it, or I can't do it. This is impossible. I have to do this, that, and the third. Because quite frankly, that's not the truth. Those are the limitations that we place on that you placed on yourself, Sagittarius. If anything, I'm feeling that a lot of the limitations are not physical or emotional; they're mental. They're more psychological. You have psyched yourself out for so long because of the outside messages that you have been getting, that you literally internalize a lot of those messages, and now you're placing limitations on yourself. And what Spirit is saying is that this is the time to let those limitations go because that's not the truth. They're not coming from a place of truth. They're coming from a place of lack. And as a result of that, this is the time to let that go so y'all can soar and be the elevated individuals that you are supposed to be. So let's see here. Spirit is saying there's much more to tell for y'all. All right. After this card is saying that's all. Okay, so know you belong. Know you belong, Sagittarius. Know that you are not weird. Know that you are, in fact, be weird. There's nothing wrong with that. But when I say you're not weird in a bad way, that's what I mean. You're not bad in a bad way, or you're not weird in a bad way. Okay, that's what I mean. Continue to be weird. Continue to be yourself. Continue to be strange. Okay, you have a tribe out there that's just as strange as you are. Okay, that's just like you. We're all like they're very much an alien, just like you are, an extraterrestrial. Okay, what this card is saying is that know that you are not to change for anybody. Know that there is nothing wrong with the way you think. There's nothing wrong with the way you process anything. As far as like intellectual, um, your intellectualism, um, don't be afraid to be yourself. Don't like. I'm just saying like let go of boundaries. Let go of the boundaries that you place on yourself. Um, and it'd be good to have a tribe so you don't feel like you have to hide parts of yourself. That's what I'm getting. Like you're hiding parts of yourself. And so what Spirit is saying is that know know that you belong here just as everyone else does, just like everyone else. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. That you belong here. I'm getting okay. So Spirit is saying is that you are one of us, which you're a highly elevated being. And what Spirit is saying, you're one of us. That means that you're part of the spirit world. You're like very connected to your spirit team. You're very connected to the outer limits, um, the universe. You're very connected to the universe and the galaxy and all that's out there. You have a second brain and use it wisely. Thank you. So that's all I have for this particular reading for Sagittarius. If you resonate with if you resonate with it in any way, shape, or form, whether it be some of it or all of it, um, by all means, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Uh, Make sure to leave a comment because I'm looking forward to seeing what other people think. Also, if you would like if you would like a more in-depth reading, you can hit me up via not Facebook, Instagram, but you can also email me at I do this all the time, bowtiepsychic@gmail.com. Also, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram. I'm thinking about getting a Twitter page. I'm not sure yet. And I also have the podcast, which is under the same name. And please like subscribe to that, follow that, and listen to that on Anchor.fm or wherever you listen to podcasts. So again, thank you so much for your time, and I hope to hear from you soon. All right, peace.